All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Aldo Martana Pitupulu, and I'm going to tell you about Middle East cuisine, famous main course. Second slide, please. Famous main course is the primary dish of food served for lunch or dinner. It is also known by the name of entree in many countries. From an Indian context, the main course includes curries, dry vegetables, dal or lentils, rice, and various types of breads. And here is the tahini noodles. Tahini noodles are Asian-inspired vegan noodles. The noodles are cooked and combined with a flavorful tahini sauce. There is a touch sweet and has a slight hint of heat and the brightness of fresh ginger. Fresh vegetables are added in for pretty color and a nice crunch. Tahini noodles can be served as a meatless meal or as a side dish. Tahini is a ground sesame paste and a source of protein. The noodles can be served either warm or at room temperature. They are delicious either way. That is the tahini noodles. And then here is the chicken shawarma. Shawarma is a popular dish originating from the Middle East. It's a popular street food that is traditionally made in the form of spice meats that are stuck on a vertical rotisserie with thin slice shave off as it rotates. But don't worry, we can cook our horizontally in a good old pan or on the barbecue. Shawarma was traditionally made with lamb, mutton, and chicken tough. These days are used with beef. It is commonly served in the form of warp. And the third menu is green shakshuka. Traditional shakshuka, also spelled shakshuka or chakchoka, is a dish of eggs poached in a sauce of tomatoes, usually with olive oil, peppers, onion, and garlic, as well as spices. From my online research, it seems as though the dish originate in North Africa. That said, the dish has existed for centuries and is popular in Palestine, Israel, Egypt, and other countries in Middle East as well. And here I put a green twist on it and made the base mixture of vegetables and greens. It is so simple to make and crazy delicious. Okay, here we got sabik sandwich. Sabik or sabih is an Israeli sandwich of pita or lava bread, stuffed with fried eggplants, hard-boiled eggs, chopped shallot, parsley, amba, and tahini sauce. Its ingredients are based on the traditional quick breakfast of Iraqi Jews. Sabix is sold in many businesses throughout Israel. Sabix served in pita bread traditionally contains fried eggplant slice, hard cooked eggs, and a thin tahini sauce. And the tahini, lemon juice, and garlic. It is Israel salad, chopped parsley, and amba. Some version use boiled potatoes. Okay, that's all. There are some famous main course that I explained to you. Thank you very much for listening.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Marta Panjaitan, and today I will discuss some dessert from the Middle East. Next slide. Famous dessert. Desserts are an indispensable part of the rich and diverse Middle Eastern cuisine. There is always at least one kind of dessert ready to be consumed after a meal or at tea time during the day. It is a deep-rooted tradition to serve dessert to guests with a foamy Turkish coffee and mint tea. Dessert, which are seen as symbol of friendship, happiness, joy, and generosity, are an essential part of any special occasion, such as weddings, holidays, festival, and daily meals. Let's dive into this culinary culture, which is becoming more and more popular in the world day by day, and looking detail at the most popular dessert. As the common Turkish saying goes, let's eat sweet and talk sweet. Next slide, please. Yeah, the first is baklava. It is made by layering nuts such as walnuts, pistachios, and hazelnuts. Depending on the region between thin Hylodoc, it is sweetened with a simple syrup made from sugar or honey. Baklava, which is quite a difficult dessert to make, is carefully prepared for important guests as it represents a symbol of their value. At the same time, it is an integral part of special occasions, especially during religious holidays, and at least one tray of baklava is prepared in every house. It is possible to find baklava all over the world. But if you want the best of the best, you should definitely consider planning a trip to Gaziantep, the leading gastronomic city of Turkey. And next, there is buza, also known as Middle Eastern ice cream. Buza is a frozen milk dessert with a flexible and chewy texture composed of salhab, mastic, and whipped milk. This is ice cream which is quite different from regular ice cream in terms of its method and texture. It definitely worth trying. In some countries, you can even find pancake buza in markets. But suppose you want to taste this deliciously on the spot. In this case, stop by the city of Kahramanmaraş in Turkey, where you can try a different version of buza made with the same technique but with goat's milk while buying traditional handmade gifts for your loved ones. And the next, nave. It is a dessert flavored with a syrup called sherbet. It consists of a salt-free and stretchy cheese and thin-strand dough known as kadayif. Although there are variations in its preparing according to the regions, the most basic recipe of the most famous version of nave is actually very straightforward. The kadayif mixed with melted butter are pressed into a kind of copper tray, and a layer of cheese is placed between them. Sherbet is poured into the nave or kunavi, making it turn brown on both sides. In some region, rose juice is also added the sherbet. Cream and pistachios are also indispensable accompaniment to nave. If you want to taste different kinds of nave, Egyptian, Iranian, and Turkish variations stand out. Next slide. Yeah, the next Arabic honey cake. In almost all of region, countries have their own version of honey sweetened cake, baked, fried, or eaten directly from the pan. There are many ways to enjoy them. It's generally served with a strong cup of coffee and can be made with many ingredients, including almond and or wheat flour. When you think of honey cake, perhaps the Russian dessert made of it comes to mind first. However, this like Middle Eastern cake with honey and usually almonds, so definitely have a special place in your dessert dictionary. Next, please. And the last, Sirini Napoleoni, one of Iran's most famous dessert. Sirini Napoleoni is a duck with a soft cream filled between crunchy layer and served with pistachio peas sprinkled on top. In fact, it is very similar to the famous French dessert mille feuilles, made with puff pastry and pastry cream. The name Chirin Napoleoni seems to be inspired by another puff pastry dessert of French origin, Napoleon dessert made with frangipane or almond cream instead of pastry cream. Despite these similarities, this local dessert is an integral part of the Iranian national cuisine. Okay, those are some dessert that I can describe. I apologize if my pronunciation is not perfect. Thank you.
The next was the Middle East famous beverage. Of course, drink was also complement your lunch or your dinners, beside of the main food like main course or dessert. And more about and most of time the beverage also becoming something tradition in your face on the traditional feast or party. The first was the Laban Ayran. It is the cold savory yogurt-based beverage of Turkic origin. The Laban Ayran was made by mixing yogurt with chilled or ice water and sometimes carbonated or seasoned with mint also. Laban Ayran was done by pouring the milk in the water skin, usually made of deer or sheep skin, and shaking it for hours, sometimes using a wooden structure to keep the water skin above the ground with woolen string to make the task easier. And salt, black pepper, dried mint, and lime juice also can be mixed in. Diced cucumber can be added to provide a crunchy texture to the beverage. Some variety of brew are carbonated. In Albania, this drink is served normally at lunch or dinner time. The second beverage is the sobia. It is a cool drink which is famous in Hijaz region of Saudi Arabia and in Egypt. Sobia was usually produced in Saudi Arabia from bread, barley, or oats, while in Egypt the drink is produced from rice, coconut powder, or and the dairy milk product. The drink is widely produced and consumed during Ramadan, like right now. Sobia syrup was made from the ingredients of barley and dry bread, oats or raisins, after which filtering are added amount of sugar, cardamom, and cinnamon mixed in proportional amounts. Then ice is added to it for cooling, so it's good for breakfasting in the Ramadan. The third one is karkade, a herbal tea made from as an infusion from the crimson or deep magenta colored calyx or sepals of the roselle is a hibiscus sabdarifa flower. Karkade is served hot or chilled with ice. It is consumed in some part of North Africa, especially in Egypt and Sudan. In Egypt and Sudan, wedding celebrations are traditionally toasted with a glass of hibiscus tea on the typical street in central Cairo. Many vendors and open air cafes sell the drinks. So it's drinks commonly in Egypt. The next is salad. Salad is actually salad was the kind of flour made from the tubers of the orchid genus Orchis. This tuber contain a nutritious starchy polysaccharide called glucoman, and the salad was then mixed into the beverage by combining with hot milk or with water. This refreshing beverage was sold in place of tea and coffee, which were much more expensive, and was served in a similar way with milk and sugar. The next is kishar, is an southeastern Arabic traditional hot drink made of spice, coffee herbs, ginger, and sometimes cinnamon in Yemen. It is usually drunk as an alternative to coffee because it doesn't need to be roasted. At first, Yemenis made wine from the pulp of the fermented coffee berries. This beverage was known as kisar and was used during religious ceremony. So, and that is all my presentation. I think this is the presentation of our team. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.